It was another dramatic scene in court yesterday as the PDP asked for an adjournment to enable them get more documents to back their claims. It appears the PDP is not mounting enough pressure on Inec to provide them with the necessary documents they need, like we've seen Peter Obi's lawyers do. There have been this criticism of the PDP. People say they are not well coordinated, as we've seen lately. A witness from the PDP testified against his own presidential candidate. And another witness from the PDP said Peter Obi did not win in Nasarawa State. And when he was asked to provide evidence, authentic evidence, he couldn't. Does it mean the article lawyers are not educating their witnesses properly? I think if they want to play the opposition, they should play it maturely. Anyway, that's not what we have for today in this video. Let's get into yesterday's full transcript of what transpired during the election tribunal hearing. It was time for the proceeding to start. Peter Obi, as usual, was spotted entering the court wearing a smile on his face. The judges were all seated, and the presiding judge, Justice Samani, apologized to everyone. "We are sorry we are coming in a bit late this afternoon. There are certain matters we needed to sort out." So these are the representation. Mr. Peter Obi represented himself and the Labour Party. SAN Levy represented the Labour Party. SAN Pinheiro represented the first respondent, Inec. SAN Olanipekun represented the second and third respondent. SAN Fagbemi represented the fourth respondent, the APC. Here goes the actual proceeding. The lead counsel to the Labour Party, SAN Levy, said to the presiding judge, "My lord, my learned colleague, SAN Ben and Echebe will lead the proceeding." So the Labour Party Ben and Echebe took over and started by saying, "My lord, we will be tendering from EC8Bs of all the states, and I will plead for time's sake if my lord will allow me call out all the states, and then we will tender it together while the adoption will take place together." But the presiding judge did not think this was a good idea. So he responded and said, "No, we won't do that. You would call it one after the other. Let's be consistent with our process." The Labour Party counsel replied, saying, "As you wish, my lord, I'm tendering 21 local government from EC8Bs of Adamawa State." So he went ahead to call out all the local governments involved, and when he was done, the counsel to Inec objected to the admissibility of these documents and would state his reason in the final address. The counsel to Tinubu and Shetima said, "My lord, I will pass the mic to my colleague, SAN Mike, to push this motion." So at this point, the presiding judge created a very funny scenario in court when he asked, "You are passing mic to Mike?" Well, personally, I loved this atmosphere, in the court, because I think the presiding judge most times comes up with jokes, possibly to maintain a less tensed environment. Then the SAN Mike, who got the mic, said, "We object the admissibility of Form EC8Bs, and we would give reasons in our final address." So we all know this is like a routine. Each time the Labour Party counsel presents, these forms, these lawyers, the opposition lawyers, they will always object. So it's like a repetition of the circle. They will always object. So this is one of their technical way of, doing their things. So let's continue from there. And counsel to the APC also objected. Here are his words: "We object these documents being tendered by the petitioners, and we will state reasons in our final written address." So after the counsels to Inec, APC, Tinubu and Shetima all objected to these Inec certified documents, the Labour Party counsel continued and he said, "We are now tendering into evidence Inec certified Form EC8Bs of 8 local governments in Bayelsa. So you could see him reminding everyone that these documents are from Inec and they were duly certified. So in case if Inec is objecting, they should know that they are objecting their own documents. So he purposely added, Inec duly certified forms. And also as a reminder to the Inec lawyer to stop acting like an opposition. It is now obvious that Inec behaves, like the opposition party instead of standing neutral. Imagine them joining the APC in objecting to all documents that were issued, even though they all came from Inec. And when the Labour Party Council was done presenting these documents, just as usual, the councils to Inec, Tinubu, Shetima, and the APC all objected to these documents in their usual manner. Nevertheless, the presiding judge admitted and marked the documents as exhibits. And the Labour Party Council continued. I seek to tender 23 local government from EC8Bs of Benue State. And after he was done calling out all the local government areas, the council to Inec reacted, and here are his words. My lord, on behalf of the first respondent, we object to the Inec certified copies of Form EC8Bs tendered by the petitioner. At this moment, everybody burst into laughter in the courtroom, as in people were just laughing because they saw Inec lawyer objecting to their own documents, including the Inec lawyer himself was equally laughing. You can see them turning the courtroom into a comedy house, honestly, as they objected to their own documents. Tinubu, Shetima, and the APC lawyers also objected. Then the presiding judge said, these documents of Form EC8Bs are now admitted by the court as evidence and tagged as exhibits. The Labour Party Council continued, we are now tendering 21 local government Form EC8Bs of Kogi State as certified by Inec. You see, he also added certified by Inec. And at the end, the Inec lawyer, that of the APC, Tinubu and Shetima, all objected to this. And the presiding judge equally admitted these documents as evidence and tagged them as exhibits. So it was like going in a circle after the presentation by the Labour Party Council. The councils to Inec, the APC, Tinubu and Shetima, all of them will object those documents. So it was just like a circle going round and round. So the Labour Party Council continued. Let's move to Nasarawa. Kindly go to page 60 of the schedule. May it please you, my lord, sir. So the Labour Party Council tendered 11 local government from EC8Bs for Nasarawa State, and as usual, the opposition lawyers objected, while the presiding judge admitted them, saying the 11th local government from EC8Bs of Nasarawa State are admitted as evidence and tagged as exhibit EAD1 to EAD2. The Labour Party Council continued by tendering 25 local government from EC8Bs for Niger State. These were all objected by the opposition lawyers, while the presiding judge admitted all of them as evidence and tagged them as exhibits. And when it got to Ondo State, something strange happened. Another funny scenario was created after the Labour Party Council has finished tendering the 18 local government from EC8Bs for Ondo State. And opposition lawyers have equally objected, just as usual. The presiding judge said something that caught everybody's attention. He said, I am seeing a lot of improper dressing in the courtroom. You people are not dressed properly. See your hair look like... I know he must be referring to the female lawyers, You senior lawyers are not training these people well. If you want to dress like this, then don't come to the courtroom. I don't want to see all of this tomorrow. So the Labour Party Council equally funnily added, we will all keep watch on them, my lord. Their hair should be neatly packed. Oh my God, everybody is going to keep watch on the female lawyers because I know this finger is pointing at them. The female lawyers, you've all heard it. You must be properly dressed. So, while tendering the forms from Sokoto State, the Labour Party Council reminded Inec that these documents are yours, so you must stop playing politics. Now, I wish to tender 21 local government duly certified true copies of the EC8Bs received from the custody of Inec and duly procured from Inec, he added. And the Labour Party Council tendered the 21 local government form EC8Bs for Sokoto State. All the respondents objected to these documents, and the presiding judge said these documents have been documented and admitted as evidence and tagged as exhibits. The Labour Party Council continued by tendering for the 25 local governments for Delta State, and when it was done, all the respondents equally objected, as usual. And at this point, the brilliant lawyer for the Labour Party noticed 2 forms were missing, and he called the attention of the presiding judge. Correction, my lord, it's 23 for Delta, as 2 local governments is not here. Apologies, my lord. And the presiding judge responded, no problem. These 23 local government documents of Form EC8Bs for Delta State have been admitted by the court as evidence and tagged as exhibits. So the Labour Party Council quickly moved on to Ekiti State, and when it was done, he moved to Imo State. Again, when the Labour Party Council was presenting the Form EC8Bs for Imo State, he noticed something was missing and he called the attention of the presiding judge. Here are his words. My lord, I'm presenting 26 local government Form EC8Bs for Imo State, but we listed 25, but it's 26, my lord. The presiding judge responded, which one is missing? And the Labour Party Council replied, the documents are here, my lord. The name is just missing on the schedule. So the presiding judge said, no problem, we will add it. And the Labour Party Council replied, much grateful, my lord. So when he was done tendering all the 26 local government Form EC8Bs of Imo State, he quickly moved over to Kaduna State. When it was time to present the forms for the local governments of Kaduna State, the presiding judge jokingly said something. And he said, we have more than 19 local governments here, and I'm saying Japa local government. The Labour Party Council responded, it's not Japa. He continued, we won't want to Japa. Japa is when you are leaving the country. The presiding judge was actually talking about, Jaba local government in Kaduna State, but funnily he pronounced it as Japa. This judge was just busy keeping everyone, happy in court. So the Labour Party Council tendered 21 local government Form EC8Bs for Kaduna State and quickly moved over to Oyo State, where he tendered 31 local government Form EC8Bs. So you can see how organized the Labour Party is. They've been able to secure most of these documents that are required to prove their case in court. And you can see them doing justice to it. We are just waiting for Inec to come and tell Nigerians, because from the look of things, Inec is trying to hide some things from, the Labour Party councils. You can see that some of the forms were even missing, meaning that there are things they don't want the public to see. And as it stands, the figures that were used during declaration, do not match with the figures on some of these forms that are being presented in court. And also, when you go to the Inec server, the RF, you find out that there are a lot of discrepancies. And this is what Nigerians will want to see Inec come to defend. They should come and tell us where they got the figures that they use in declaring Tinubu as the president of Nigeria, or as one that won the election. Because as it stands, if Peter Obi should gain all the votes that were stolen from him, all the votes that Inec took away from Peter Obi, if Peter Obi should recover all those votes, Peter Obi will be the next president of Nigeria. And that is what we are looking forward to seeing Inec come to do in court. They should stop playing politics. They should come out clean and prove to Nigerians that, yes, they made a mistake during the declaration. That is either this election is cancelled or a rerun should take place. And we are hoping that they will stand neutral. Thank you for watching. Bye.